Okay. Hey y'all. So I had a molar, like one of my upper molars removed yesterday. Um I've had wisdom teeth removed before, but usually like four at a time, and it was, more extensive. They had to do more work to close the one of my teeth was like turned this way, kind of growing towards my other teeth, so it was impacted. So when they removed that one, they had to do stitches and everything, and there was more to it. I was put under. So like I made this appointment a while ago, and like this is the week of Thanksgiving, so I didn't plan on like really being able to eat a lot of the good favorite things for Thanksgiving. But I was expecting a little bit more like before and after care instructions. So I went, and like I didn't know, am I supposed to drive myself? Am I okay? Are they doing topical like numbing and everything, lidocaine, all that stuff. Typically in the past, like you kind of have to know your body too and how you react to things, because I have previously, even for like fillings and things, I've had more Novocaine needed, and my brother's the same way. And side note, like when I had my kids, epidurals didn't work for either one of them, so I don't know if it's just something within my body, but the more you know about your body, the more you know like to prepare for things. So yesterday, drove myself, um, went in, they were removing where I had a previous root canal. So I've had a problem for like over a year or two of just them trying to put crowns on it, crowns being rejected, like my gums had a reaction, like constant headaches. I've been to the dentist more in the last 2 years than my entire life, and it's ridiculous. So I was like, just take it out. So it's, they put it was like they put it up in my gums, like first it was like a gel or something, he said, like a numbing gel. Did that, and he kind of left the room. And like 10-15 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, all right, now we're going to do the shots. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But they did put that pre-numbing stuff on. So I really didn't feel when he put 2 shots. He like held my lip out and was like shaking it. And then he did like the shot way up into the side, and then maybe more towards the back of my upper jaw, maybe. Those two I didn't feel, but he goes, "You're gonna feel this one." And then even the assistant was like, "Yeah, you might feel a pinch." I'm like, "Okay, can't do anything." So I'm way back, and they do a shot like roof of my mouth, and it pinched, and I couldn't, like, it's not like you can move. There's a needle in your mouth, so I'm just sitting there like, you know. So eventually, like, they again leave the room. We'll be back, okay, come back, give it some time to numb the whole area, and then like I'm just like, get it over with. So then this is when they ask me questions, when my mouth is numb and I can't feel my face and I feel like I'm drooling all over myself. They're like, oh, you have any questions? I'm like, it probably would have been good to ask me that beforehand, when I could talk. So anyways, they come in and he's like, oh, well, with the root canal, it's like what's on the surface, what you see with the part that you brush of your teeth, like once you get that root canal, it's almost like half of it. And it feels like there's nothing there, but there's still a lot of the tooth inside underneath the surface. So he's like, it's probably just going to be like, we're going to, pop it out. It comes out. Like, okay. Like the thing is, like, even though you're kind of numb, you're still hearing everything and you feel the pressure of everything. So he starts, the assistant's over here, he's over here. And he's like, doing whatever he's doing. I'm just looking at the light, blinding myself, And he's like, I hear all this cracking and twisting, and I'm just like, oh, otherwise I would throw up. But he's like really struggling, and they kind of both seem concerned, and then he gets this other piece of equipment. Now, this thing is like pressing down on, like this metal heavy ass thing is like pressing on my face, and he's twisting. Eventually, they pull this thing out, and like she's suctioning because obviously I'm bleeding and everything. All he did, he put the tooth down. They gave me this. Put that in there. He's like, bite down. He's like, all right, I'll walk you to the front. Like nothing. Okay? Like I'm mouth full of blood. I'm still, because the thing is, when you get dental work, especially like that invasive, like you're still kind of drooling and all the crap they use beforehand, and the numbing stuff tastes nasty. You're just like you just want to vomit, but you have like pools of blood and saliva and everything. So this is what I got, and this is what I got to go home. I got a couple more of these in there. I got some instructions, Basically, they were like, it's gonna bleed for an hour, then take this out. Let me tell you, I don't know if it's me, but I did what they said. I kept that thing in there. I drove home. Okay, drove home. I gave myself an hour, thinking maybe it'll clot, but you know, you have to be prepared. So I was scared to take it out because I still felt so much blood on my mouth. It was disgusting. I took it out. That thing was still bleeding, actively bleeding. So I threw that out, did another one, and even in between all this, I'm like spitting out like into a napkin with the thing in my mouth. It was just, ugh. But you can't like spit because you don't want to. You want it to clot, you know. So gave it another hour. Changed that thing again. I had at least like 2 more of these things in here. It's still, to me, it was bleeding like enough to where I'm like, I don't feel comfortable not having something on there, but this tastes disgusting, you know. And I was getting hungry. It's been a couple hours since I ate, you know. So I looked online, and one of the things that it said online was to use black tea, like tea bags. So I had other ones. I used the other ones. This is chai tea, but like I think I had English breakfast, and I had one more Earl Grey tea left. So I just kind of steeped those and like took out most of the water, but they were still warm. That was the best relief I had out of everything. Just putting that first tea bag and like right under it. Still kind of, like you don't want to bite down too hard because then the tea will come out and you'll be eating that. But just enough so it's there, so your jaw is kind of like resting on, you know, with it in there. That thing within 20 minutes stopped everything. So if you ever have to have this type of experience, make sure you have some black tea. It doesn't have to be this kind. This is from Aldi's. It was $1 something, whatever. But I usually keep a couple different teas on hand anyways. But the good thing about it was too, like with the Earl Grey and the English breakfast tea, like I wasn't tasting the blood. I was tasting the tea. I was tasting that, and it kind of like, I don't know, it just helped like the experience. It made me like calm. I fell asleep with that thing in my mouth. I put an ice pack on my face. I was really puffy yesterday. Like this is still a little bit puffy, but this is a lot better than it was. So Dennis won't tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. So, you know, always keep tea in your house all the time. This is good for so many things, for styes, for puffy eyes, like just keep it. All right. That's my piece.